Well guys, here we are talking about Kate Bishop, and it is one of my favorite topics, aka concept art o'clock time, where we can see what we could have had, and maybe even kind of get insight into why this wasn't one of the final designs. We of course always get tons of concept art, so let's talk about a more comic accurate Kate Bishop outfit. So before we get into this, let me just make it very clear that I absolutely love Kate Bishop's outfit in the MCU and what we got. Her and Clint's outfit at the end, absolutely perfect in my opinion. I love them, I love what they're doing with them, I love how you can tell where they're going to evolve them. Now of course when it comes to the comics, they quite clearly took a lot of what I would call inspiration, but of course you can't just have a one piece that doesn't have layers, that doesn't have depth, that doesn't have the proper shading that you need to pop. Again, that's been a complaint with like Spider-Man in the MCU, especially early on, because he didn't have any raised webbing. Well, an alternative outfit that showed up online as part of concept art is this right here, which quite obviously they were trying to finalize what we got for the final design, and this was sort of I would call it a stopgap, if you will. Notable to me is, of course, the lack of the layer and sort of padding that they put on their suits to give it some of that depth, which is why I think ultimately this one didn't make it through. But you can definitely tell they took inspirations from some of the previous, outfits they had, and there was a lot more of a practicality to this one, I would say. A lot less of that, hey, we got a superhero outfit, a lot more of something like a properly designed suit, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't, I'm not really sure. But I do ultimately like what we ended up getting more than this right here, even though this is a little bit more in the way of trying to stay more comic accurate and not just give her like what she had for most of the season, which was that sort of just sweatshirt almost look, and then at the end she got a more sleek suit. I kind of like this, and it makes me think that there was probably some sort of conversation in regards to an evolution of the suit, which I'm honestly glad that they didn't go through that. It's like, look, she has her makeshift suit, and then the final suit's made by the LARPers. So overall, I did like what we ended up getting, and it's probably one of my favorite suits in the end that we've seen so far in terms of how it evolves and how we get it at the end of the project, because it just looks good. It looks like it properly fits what they were going for, and everything going on with both of their suits finally resembles more of the comic book look you would kind of want translated over into live action. And maybe they'll go back to this at some point. We know Marvel Studios always likes to revisit designs and make suit updates from project to project, so I guess we're just going to have to wait and see.